let's get started with the AGP contest, June 2026 entry review. Uh, Maybe one day I'll become like a good host, but I'm not sure if it's today. But anyway, uh, this month's challenge is Arctic, 3 bucks, and Nike. Okay, and joining us as special guest juror here we have the professor Rafael Corazza.
Hello.
Hey Rafa, can I call you Rafa?
Yeah, of course. Here in the West, people call me Raf.
Ref. Yeah, I
Yeah,
know. Cool.
but
That's
like Rafa is fine.
yeah. Here in Brazil, I would call you Rafa. So
Yeah.
if you want, I can call you Ref as you
No,
wish.
no, Rafa is totally fine. I think it's just here they just prefer Raf for some reason the way they pronounce it.
I think it's more due to the language for sure,
Yeah,
maybe. But well, cool. Let's get started. First, I think it would be nice to know a bit more of you. If you could tell a bit of your story, how you got as a car designer, as a designer, would be nice to hear that.
of course, of course. Yeah. So I have like an interesting story. Like many of designers that came from Brazil, right? Like it came from like a small town where design wasn't like there's no designers coming out of my small town back in Brazil. Beautiful city, right? Like in the mountain, kind of mountains. We don't actually have real mountains in Brazil, but it's like part of the like a forest, and I grew up in a farm full of dogs, and somehow I become a designer, right? I kind of always got this passion for art and design. Um, and then I started to develop that. I actually, before becoming a designer, I tried to do biology. Right, I
Oh,
was like always
really?
in love with art. Yeah, sorry, with animals, and then I found out architecture, and I said, okay, let's trying to do something with art. And after that, I think like after 6 months, I saw an industrial designer like running around with like a prototype. I was like, oh, this is so cool. This person is like building something physical, right? So then that's when I kind of started to research about it. I was like, oh, industrial design is not like you're not designing something for the industry, you're not making an engine, you're not an engineer, you're actually doing design, you're doing art. And that was like this big moment in my life. And that I was like, okay, that's what I want to do, right? So that's what was the moment that changed everything in my life. This one that you're seeing right now is the Zero One, right? It's one of the cars that I designed in detail design. It's basically a studio from Audi in Italy,
Very cool.
and that I was never thought that was going to see something that I actually designed myself on the streets. Right, of course, big team, loads of people working on it, but it's just like magical, right? That I think that I was like in this small town, end up going to Italy to design cars. Now I'm here in the US. And my trajectory was basically that. I did the São Paulo State University in Brazil, right? That's when I went to study design. And you see also like a lot of pictures of diving and animals and sharks, and that was like one of the biggest things that influenced my design. Is that I always loved nature. I was always like in love to watch Discovery Channel. This is
Whoa, you
Galapagos.
actually, it's you there?
Oh yeah, this is Galapagos. It's the sharkiest place in the world. Yeah.
Oh,
So yeah, so it's funny. It's also was an unbelievable moment for me in my life that from watching stuff in Discovery, I got to actually dive with whale sharks
that's
and stuff like that.
crazy.
So nature has always influenced my design, and it was a big part of what influences me, right? But anyway, a message for all the students there, right? Like I was, not a great student, right? So, uh, yeah, that's a big portion of it. But from the moment that I decide, okay, I want to be a designer, I want to be a car designer, that's when the everything clicked for me, Mauricio. Like, I say, okay, I know that I'm here. I'm not good at all at drawing, right? Cars. Like I think I never draw a car before. And then I started just okay, that I want to do this. I know that I have all this work in between, right? There was the moment that I saw all the the seniors in school trying to get internships, right? And I was like, wow, is that hard? Like these people is this good and they cannot get a internship? This is crazy, you know. I'm terrible place right now. I need to really kind of do all this hard work in between. And then that's what I did, right? I got my first internship at Chevrolet in my last year of school. And that was like a big moment in my life. I had like amazing designers that were working there, and they taught me everything the base of like the foundations of design that I know nowadays. And you know, I'm forever grateful for everybody there. I was doing internship at the Advanced Design Studio of Chevrolet in Brazil,
Mm-hmm.
and I worked with
Galdino,
Vicente.
Arthur.
Yeah, all these people were there. Like, there's a funny story about Galdino. Like, I was like super fan of his work. He also came from the same university as I did, and then when I went there, he's supposed to be my supervisor. So I was like super excited. I was like, God, when I met him, I was like, I saw him there, and it was like, Galdino, like, it's crazy. Like, I can't wait to learn stuff from you. And he was like, oh, I'm leaving next week. So there was like this moment. I was like, oh no. But like he had like this incredible artwork in the studio. It was really fun to see his work that's still there. But anyway, a lot of people that were amazing. Vicente Mullenhaler was one of my mentors there. Leandro Trovati, Gabriel was my manager, who was an amazing guy. I mean, everybody there was amazing. I can't say all the names, right? But there was a big moment. It was like when I touched the industry, and you see, like, for example, I know you're looking at a render that I did, and there's a lot of the things that I learned from there, from then, that is like still kind of like on my style. For example, kind of like this kind of painting style is something that I got inspired from Galdino, right? Like the work. And then I love this thing of trying to find my style, but also I know that my style was kind of more messy, but at the same time, you're doing a car that needs to be precise. So when you look at this rendering, right, it's kind of like there's this mix of some areas are precise and it can really transmit the idea, but others are open for interpretation, right? At the same time that there's a focal point into the front, and then the back is kind of like fading, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you see me mixing also different tools. Like, for example, I love like digital painting, but at the same time, you see me using the paths to kind of bring this mix of something that's precise, but at the same time loose, right? And I love that. I mean, this is a sketch. Like, it's hard to be proud of things that we do, but this is like a sketch that I'm proud of it. Like how that's when I kind of start with this style of like loose and precise at the same time, kind of started to clicking. And yeah, it's like it was a big sketch that kind of helped me develop that style. And after that, I did my master's in the SPD in Italy, Milan, which is the Scuola Politecnica di Design. And
With this guy over here, you did it, right? Fernando? You
yeah,
studied
Fernando
with...
is a good friend. He actually studied there maybe 2 years or 1 year after me. And I got to be, I was actually, after I graduated, I became a assistant tutor there. And so we worked together a lot there at SPD. He's a great friend, great designer as well. And yeah, this is me, like kind of with my loose type of
Oh, cool. I love
sketch.
these videos. I didn't know you
Yeah.
had another one over here. That's cool.
Yeah, I totally forgot to, like, those are pretty old, but yeah, my sketching is like, it's pretty much like this is loose, or like sometimes it comes out of nowhere. And I really enjoyed this type of, sometimes, like, you really need to do something precise, depends on which project, but if something that I'm doing for fun, it's kind of like I just let something happen on the canvas.
No, I find
Like
it
how,
nice. Like it's not like, I'm not sure. Maybe you have in your mind like this, but it's not like you following like a formula. I just saw you how you started this front view, and you started from almost from the windshield and from the A pillar. So it's kind of nice. It's not that thing blocky and rigid. It's cool to see how it flow, the whole sketch, and how you do it.
no, thank you. Yeah, and that's what it is. Like, sometimes you just want to let it happen onto the page, right? and sometimes it's a good surprise, sometimes it's not, sometimes it comes out terrible, right?
Yeah.
There's but it's fun. It's like I love this type of process, when you just like do it. Or sometimes I just start like just throwing colors on the paper, like throwing some values. But yeah, and that's after SPD. In SPD, I really learned a lot of the tools, and there I just had like I was actually extremely lucky through my whole journey. That's one of the reasons I became professor, right? Like working on education, because I just want to kind of give the same opportunity that I had when I was like learning, right? Because I just had amazing mentors, right? Like I said, in GM, I had amazing people. Even before getting to GM, I learned from Leonardo Trovati and Arthur Martins, like doing a course with them. My professors from
Oh, you did the course with them.
yeah, yeah,
It was already Sketch It?
yeah. Like it's like a 1 week sketching class.
Mm.
It was phenomenal. I had amazing tutors at Unesp as well. And for example, and once I get to SPD, my main mentor, right, that was there like once a month or twice a month was Julio Lozano from Renault, right? And at that time he was working at SET, and he was like my direct mentor, and I just learned so much from him. He's so good, right? He
Mhm.
designed the capture concept,
Oh,
and he's incredible. Like when he was like sketching, I was like, how is that possible? Like, how do you have these ideas, right? But so learned a lot from him, from the other professors in SPD as well. And like there, it's very intensive. Back in the days, I don't know how it's nowadays, but it was really like a boot camp. You would just wake up early, work. When it's 8 p.m., you leave back home, and you just keep working until 4 a.m. again.
oh,
So that, I mean, it's just that's how you build good skills. Some people might be more gifted or talented, but I wasn't one of those. It was just like doing a lot of work, and then I got my space in the industry. Right, I got to because we had a sponsorship from Audi, right, in the school. I got to go for Ital Design back in Italy, in Turin, which was basically a Audi design studio.
hmm,
Amazing place to work, right? Like was one of the coolest parts of it is that in Ital Design, even if you're working for Audi, you still got to do consultancy work for other brands. So when we were there, like I worked on projects for Honda, Lamborghini, Audi as well. We developed one of the really cool things. We developed our own brand, right? Like the new brand of the actual studio that was Automotive Speciale. It was the Zero Uno, the one you saw.
oh,
A lot of hardworking
Lux
people.
was
That's me
here.
and Darko. Yeah,
Sorry,
we
keep
met
going.
in Belgrade one time, and he was here. I think like last month or 2 months ago, right?
Oh,
As a juror as well.
cool.
And yeah, I mean, I can complain about my life. A lot of hard work, but also amazing friends and great experiences. And my new chapter, right? I mean, not as new, but once I was an Italian design, I started teaching at the Institute of Applied Arts of Turin as well, and that's when I was like fell in love with teaching. And in this meantime, I got the opportunity to come to work for SCAD and teach full time, and it was a big change in my life. Like not designing cars full time, but it was actually it's a big change. But at the same time, every time like okay, we're doing a new car and another car, right? And I got to work on some really fun and cool cars back in the days, right? Like all these cars are out now, but I can say so. I worked on the last Audi R8 that came out.
Whoa.
I also worked on the uh, a little bit on the Lamborghini Revuelto, and when I was still in design, of course, the Zero Uno, right? A bunch of other cars,
That's amazing.
but yeah, and it's one of my like um, the favorite things that I did there. And yeah, there's a picture of Ital Design right there.
Right?
Um,
Which one? Sorry.
right under the sea. There's my dog Bisteca,
Oh,
and
this one?
there's yeah on the left.
Oh, on the left. Sorry. This one?
One to the left. Yeah, this is Ital Design. Yeah, that's the studio right there.
Ah,
So
John, okay.
it was like, I mean, it was the studio of George Studiato, right? It was all just built and it was like incredible, like very inspiring. You had like this beautiful museum with all these concepts from the past. They were there, like for example, the Alfa Romeo Brera concept, and other concept cars. He was the one who designed the DeLorean. So we had like the first DeLorean that was done inside the museum. So every time we need inspiration, we would just walk away from the studio, go to the museum, look at stuff. It was really fun.
That's
But
crazy.
and yeah, and
No, keep going.
anyway, and then the last part was coming to the US and teach for SCAD. SCAD stands for Savannah College of Art and Design. And I confess that I haven't heard about them before. But once I came here and I saw the school, right? Yeah, that's one of our main buildings. Right now we have like 104 buildings around the city, across the city here. But it's just like a phenomenal institution. I think it's probably one of the best in, design schools in the world. And and it's just fascinating, you know, like everything here, like the resources that the students have here is just unbelievable. Like the shops and the 3D printing shops that we have is very impressive, you know. So the first time that I was here, okay, I need to come here and work here. So I did my interview and everything went well. And I'm actually like, you know, extremely fulfilled and so happy that I did that transition, right? And I still worked as a freelancer, right? Like for a few projects,
Mm-hmm.
and but transition from, you know, doing my work for myself, you know, like that, you know, that childhood dream of designing, sketching a car was awesome. But when like I start helping others to do make their dream become a reality too, right? The same way that I did in the past, well, it's something that's so priceless. And yeah, I just love working here, and I've been here in the US for it's been 7 years already.
7 years. And I don't think you have the pictures because you're still doing some cars, right? Because as you told me previously about the car that you did with your students.
Yeah,
But
so this was the one
it's
of the
not here,
latest
right? You
spoof.
don't have it
Yeah,
here in your
I don't
Instagram.
think I have it on Instagram. Yeah, my Instagram's pretty outdated. Yeah, but this is one of like the most exciting things that we did here in SCAD, and it's basically the people we there's a lot of good resources here in SCAD, and basically the you know the people sorry, the executives of SCAD, they wanted to design and build a car here,
Mm-hmm.
and they say, Ref, can you do that in a year? And I was like, no, I cannot design and build a car in a year, but I'll do it anyway. So, and that's what we tried to do. And actually it happened. Like we started designing this car in September 12th. I think it was the 11th of September, and September 11th and 12th. And then the next year on the 12th, we were just kind of arriving with the car on the stage. So it was very, very, very fun. And but it was a lot of intense work, you know. Me and the studios, we just did everything. Like we did it sketching, right? So in the course of a year, we come up with the idea of the car, the concept, and we actually build it, right? So like cutting metal, welding, learning how to, I mean, I never knew how to do a carbon fiber part myself, right? So actually we did carbon fiber parts, did a lot of mistakes, but right, that's how you learn. But
Yeah.
it was fun. Like we end up arriving with a car that actually runs, and it's being everywhere here in the US. I don't know if it in school have done that before, right? Um,
A
a design school,
drivable
right?
car? That's hard, right? A drivable
Yeah,
one? Yeah, that's hard.
I think so. So, and that was like, you know, the cool thing about this car was that this was my thesis project in SPD, right? That's so that there we have to develop everything, you know, the 3D clay and so on. But yeah, the car was basically an incredible learning experience for the students, because they get to make something that needs to work. It was not just do like amazing 3D and amazing sketches, but pieces, they need to work, they need to stay in place. It's not like a model that's there on a stand. It's something that needs to move, vibrate, and it cannot fall apart, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was incredible learning experience. Like some students that did that project, they were basically like flying. They already graduated. Some of them founded their own company to do car customizations, and
Whoa.
after 1 year, they're actually launching their first car.
Oh, crazy.
It's
Awesome.
pretty fun. Yeah, I mean, all the students that were part of the project, they really kind of didn't are having like an amazing career, because it's such like a big challenge that makes you grow some tough skin and understand the game.
Amazing. No, lots of things happened to you, guy.
Yeah, sorry, I think I
Lots. No, no,
spoke a
that's
little bit too
crazy.
much.
I love to hear. This is such a rich story. Really cool. All the challenge
Thank you.
that you had in
Yeah, I like
becoming,
to.
reaching where
I
you
usually,
are now, and pretty cool. Awesome.
thank you. Yeah, I usually like to share some of this parts, right? Because my main thing is really to show to people that don't matter where you are in your journey, you can always take the decision to transform your life to be what you want to be, right? So the same way that I was a terrible student that hates studying or doing anything that was hard, to really kind of like dive in and, okay, no, I need to kind of shift my mindset, shift how I think, how I commit to things, right? And that's it. It's just really, it completely transformed my life, right? To shift into, okay, I'm gonna do the hard work, and that's it. It's just it pays off, right? And I just want people to believe that, right? Because if you don't believe that all the hard work you do kind of get you to the place you think, then you're not gonna do it, right? But if
Yeah.
you have more people say, do the work, it pays off. Please believe in this. I think more people believe it, and more people will transform their lives.
No, that's perfect. Let's follow some examples and try hard, right?
Exactly.
Don't give up. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Totally. Of course, I don't
That's
have
how
like.
all the designers got to where they are, right? Like you,
Yeah, yeah,
me.
exactly. I don't have like such a rich story as yours, but I can complain also. But that's really cool. Thanks a lot for sharing all that, man. Really.
Thank you.
And this is very cool in a time
Oh yeah,
where
this.
we no, we didn't have all this AI that we have now.
Oh
And
yeah.
to put all this together, it has lots of work in here. I can see it.
Oh yeah. This was my final thesis, and like this final video was pretty crazy. The Yeah, like, I mean, as you know, like Keyshot, this is back in, I think, 2014. It wasn't that easy,
Yeah.
intuitive tool that is. And I was working this project with two colleagues too, right? So we had was Nikola Petic and Jakub. They're amazing friends nowadays. Nikola Petic, he worked for Lamborghini for many years. He's in Alpine right now.
Oh,
Jakub is working for Fiat and FCA actually. And but like, I mean,
now
for
Stellantis. Now
yeah,
Stellantis. Fiat,
well, for the
FCA, and now Stellantis.
yeah, but to do this video was like, I remember like staying awake for like, I don't know, a few days in a row, and editing everything. It was a lot of effort, and then we need to split the video like in many computers in the school, to be
Yeah.
able to render in time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You didn't
it's
have like a render farm, so you have to put all together. Yeah, yeah. I
exactly.
know
So
that.
at night before leaving the school, you're just leaving all the computers running, some frames, and yeah. And I mean,
Very
it
cool.
paid off, right? Like, it was a lot of work, but it got us the jobs.
No, no, I can see it. It shows up. It's really cool. Really nice, man.
Thank you.
Well, that's amazing. I think I had some, as I told you before, I had some questions, something
Sure,
that I
let's
would
go.
ask you, but actually you went all through all of them. I think
Yeah,
the
okay.
only one, if you want to talk briefly about what's your take on AI?
Mhm.
We have like lots of AI now,
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's
and
a great question, right? And
yeah,
because I think my take on AI is, it's just this wonderful tool, that it's still going to be a tool, right? Like you still need to do your part of the deal, right? Like your homework of practicing your skills, develop your aesthetic sense, because can be very detrimental for the education of the students, right? Like if you start with AI too early, right, you're not gonna develop your aesthetic sense, your sketching, your 3D modeling, your forms, like how you develop the form, right? Because this is doing for you, so it can be really like can be a problem for your learning, right?
Yeah.
Because also, like, how will be able to tell which generation of the idea is the best one if you haven't gone through the process of this feedback loop of making something, right? Like you make something, you sketch, you do a 3D, you evaluate, you 3D print it, or you model by hand, and then say, okay, I need to fix this, and that, right? And then through the whole career of a designer, you do this multiple times, right? Design the idea, concept, sketch, 3D,
Yeah.
prototype, concept, sketch, 3D, prototype. So you're doing this feedback loops of understanding, okay, what works or what not, understanding form, developing your, feel the surfaces that you build in 3D and feel them in the real world. And if you don't do that, right, like you're not going to be able to judge what's the result of the AI. You're not going to be able to direct AI. So it's still like, I think, and also one of the things that working for a school here, I'm always in touch with a lot of companies that are hiring our students, right? And when they talked with us, I think even more like nowadays, like sketching it's being a premium, right? Like it's being the most important skill that you really need to develop because it's the only chance that they have to really kind of assess, your process and
Hmm.
look into your how you think, right? And really like you cannot fake a sketch, right?
Yeah.
Like with AI. I think that's the only thing that
For
uh,
now, I think
there's
so.
yeah, maybe, right?
Maybe in the
But
future.
maybe for now, but I think it takes so long for to be able to kind of fake a good sketch,
Oh
where
yeah,
you
no. Yeah,
when
for
you
sure.
not a good sketch, but like seeing like the hand of the person on the page, right? Because you cannot keep the style consistent at the same time, right? So amazing tool, right? A lot of industries are using it, but it's being used by experienced designers. Many students use might be a problem, right, for their education.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. And I think Darko said something similar, that's cool. The tool is there, but if you only rely on it, you won't develop your skills. That's the fact, right?
Exactly.
And it's kind of it's nice because I see all your sketches and it's not about the sketch looking cool. It's a way of thinking on paper, right? Because it's not like you're trying some lines and you're trying to solve some surfaces. It's not something that AI will give it to you, right? It's just a way of thinking on paper. Do you? I think sketch is something like this, you know?
Exactly. No, you put it perfectly, right? Like sketching is a thinking tool, right? It's not. I mean, it's not illustration, right? It can certainly look beautiful, right? But at the same time, I mean, it's just like I don't. I might you might think like I don't know if someone is studying a doctor or a lawyer, they're probably writing stuff. If right, like if we as designers, if we are thinking and designing something, right, like we need to, okay, is it here, and I put it in the paper, and then how can I develop this further? And it's kind of like a dialogue, right? Like you put
Hmm.
something out, you assimilate, and then you put something else out.
Perfect. Pretty cool. Nice to know that. If people are still wanting more sketch, that's some good news, I guess.
Yeah,
Well, great story. Thanks for all that, man. If you
yeah.
wish, we can dive on the entries
Let's go.
and
I'm
then
excited
we
to check
get
that out.
it will be nice to hear your feedback to the all participants. Just let me change the screen. Just a sec. Okay. And here we go. We can dive in directly on them. Okay. I'll
Oh,
pass one by one. You're on paper. If you wanna mark something, I'll follow you now.
awesome.
Uh, and then we can start from this one. This is the
Beautiful.
first entry. N301.
Right. Yeah. So, yeah, just looking at this, I think it's great work, right? We we have process, right? I think that's like, again, we're getting this era that's easy to show something final with AI, but what starts to get even more important is like the validation of that idea, right? So, for example, right now we, if I just look at this poster here, right? Uh, Great, like cool idea, flashy, right? But what validates it for me, right, is to look at the process, right, and understand, okay, how this really ties to the brand, how it ties to the briefing, right? How many possibilities you explore before arriving to this final idea, right? So, for example, I see sketches, I see mood boards, and I think this is phenomenal, right? That's that. I mean, that needs to be part of every project, right? So, great work on this one here. Talking about the design and the briefing, right? I think it ties pretty well to the briefing, right? And then when we talk about three volume, maybe, right, like not 100% a three volume, right, in some of the views, but still, I think if you falls inside the briefing, we see uh, Nike DNA on it, right? And if I was then diving onto the design here, right, I would expect maybe like a little bit more of road DNA for the specifically for the snow, right? So, for example, the tires look pretty cool with this type of material here, but it's still like, think about cleats, right? And or change, like, or maybe like something completely conceptual, right? That maybe if the tire is running on smooth ice, there's cleats, and maybe they're retractable for snow. Um, or maybe like it transforms when you hit the road,
It
right?
has
Uh,
something that deploys beneath the car, right? You have like maybe kind of like a snowboard, if I can say it like that. Because you
oh
see
yeah,
in
yeah,
the picture just below, it has some sort of mechanism that I'm not sure how it's helping, but kind of to slide on ice.
that drops down to slide on its own. Yeah, this is interesting, right? That's actually like a really cool way of thinking, right? You're like increasing the surface area, and then the tires are pushing it, right?
Yeah.
It's it's interesting, right? Would it work? Maybe it's gonna get stuck
Yeah,
on the
it looks
snow,
like.
but it's nice. Now it's, it's a competition to go out of the box, have fun. So I think we're in there. I would love to see more lights, right? Like, looking at maybe like ice rally lights, right? Like
Mm.
you're running on a place that there's zero artificial illumination, right? And like, we have a light bar here, but maybe like in here on the top.
Hmm.
But I would love to see those elements a little bit extra, right? Um, but all the Nike kind of perception of the product, I think it's all there. Really, really nice.
Yeah.
Let's move to the next one.
Yeah, and
Any-
yeah, we can go.
Anything, anything else on this one?
I think I would say just you already said that, but it's almost a fastback, if I may say. But it
Yeah,
has like a small, how you call, like a small curve when you can kind of see the third box, right? When you have the volume behind, and you
yeah,
have almost like a drawer where you can put stuff there. But the sketch, I would say to me, it really looks a bit more. I can tell it that is a three box, and I would call it like a sedan something. But the 3D render, which I assume that this is Blender, if I'm right about his description, but
well,
it looks cool, and I find, I don't know, I have nothing to add. That's
yeah,
pretty nice.
and also like extra points for the storytelling, right? Like probably using some AI here, right? But that's part of it, part of the job. Like when that's kind of like the marketing part, right? Like now the storytelling, like making selling or idea in a nice way with showing how people use that product, right? Uh, it's really like something that every designer needs to be able to do now, right?
Yeah,
so
totally.
quick to go from the sketch to tell like a visual story with the user. So I think that's like fundamental, very professional, beautiful work here.
Yeah, as you said, if the industry, if people are hiring and looking for sketch guys, sketch people,
Mhm. Yeah,
then it's a mistake to rely only on AI, right? So, of course, if you want to do some illustrations or some pictures as this one, but don't just rely on it, right? Because
exactly,
it's not a thing about this challenge, of course. It's, I do, of course, I love sketches and I do prefer them over AI. But the thing is, it's anywhere you go, you'll need something like this, and just don't just rely on AI. That's the thing that I think I can say.
exactly.
But
Yeah,
cool.
no, really good point. Because for example, you just cannot rely on it. Like if you look at the, when you start to dive in and look more at the images, right? Like you see a few incoherences, right? Like for example, this stance here, right? Like you can barely fit a human. Like look the height of the human being, right?
Yeah,
And it's like
yeah, that,
and the length of the tents here, right? Maybe she has a dog. We don't
yeah,
know,
probably something like that.
but great work, right? Like and great work, everything.
Cool, nice.
Next one,
Next one. Let's go to the next one. Let's
trying to
go. Let's
operate.
go to the next one over here. This one. You have like let's finish this line, then we go to the second line.
Oh,
Can we?
I didn't know there was another line.
Yeah.
I mean, let's follow you, and
Okay.
then I can
Sure.
just draw on the
I
screen.
I just don't want to
You
lose
later.
your sketching. If you're pointing something, I'll just keep an eye for
Nice.
your mouse, and I'll take a look for it. Just you can go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, uh, I think great work here as well, right? Like in capturing the, it's almost like I think it has the like the three volume aspect, right? You have a little bit of Nike on it, right? But it's then I think the Nike part is a lot it's heavily laying on the graphics
Mm-hmm.
rather than the form, right? I think the threads kind of have a little bit of that Nike look, right? I like that you show the process, right? You have your sketches, right? Um, and you could probably clean your lines a little bit more, practicing your lines to be a little bit more clean. But again,
Mm-hmm.
we're in this time of the like so, but you're representing the volumes, right? Like nicely on your ATA, right?
Yep. True.
Um, I think this top view is one of my favorite views here on this project. Okay. Oops.
No problem.
Yeah. This top view here,
Mm-hmm.
right? It looks very interesting. And then talking about the whole like kind of volume, right? And now we're something once we are designing something for the article, and that's let me just kind of go back a little bit. So what I see a lot in car design, I've been an insider in the car design industry, right? I'm a little bit of outsider,
Mm-hmm.
being in education, right? Now, so I kind of can see things with the different eyes, and what I see a lot, right, is that the car design sometimes like going too heavily into styling, right? Which like the fun thing about design, right? The coolest part that's just have fun, develop form, sketch, right?
Mm-hmm.
But also, but the core, the foundation of car design came from industrial design, right? Where things have like a certain reason to look why they look, right? So for example, we're doing a if you're doing an Arctic Explorer, right? I think the side view that you have here is a great place to talk about this, right? Because you have like almost zero ground clearance, right? So, for example, you have the threads that that's accurate for the environment, right? That's something that we really want to see on a type of project like this. We want to see how the contact with the surface is going to be, right? How what's your design solution for the terrain, right?
Mm-hmm.
But for example, for ice or snow, right? Like the ground clearance is really low, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And also you don't have suspension travel as well, right? So the car can basically have like, like go up and down,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Sure.
So you right like basically you need to have some more kind of like suspension travel, right?
Yeah. Okay.
And
Yeah.
having
That's.
some, yeah, and it's also kind of gives some opportunity to design to like to put some really cool kind of shockers inside there and everything, right?
It would even look maybe more road, like more tough car, like you have like an off-road vehicle actually.
Exactly, right? Like you have more of this off-road perception of your product, right? And on the front, I would love to, it's a cool volume, cool shape, but I would love to see a more developed like front view, right? Maybe like if you follow me now, I
Mm-hmm.
can show this. Like yeah, for example, here we just end up with a light bar, right? But kind of being uh, can maybe design something that it's onto the volume, or it's will have way more value, right?
Yeah.
And also, for example, one of the big rules that we have in car design is always like we want to make it look low and as wide as possible, right? So that's like one of the imperative rules. Like, but basically, if you kind of wanted to keep your lights, right?
Yeah. Totally.
Sketching with my mouse here, but
No, no
uh,
problem. It making total sense here.
yeah. But you want to really kind of make this look wide and strong, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, rather than keep concentrating all your details onto the center, that kind of makes it having like a narrow perception, right? So the same thing was with like if looking at first face of a person, sometimes people have like the eyes are too much into the face, and they kind of have this narrow face,
Mm-hmm.
right? That think and this like the aesthetics, uh, right? That imprinted in our mind. We kind of want to see, like a wide face that has like a strong jaw, right? Like that's all kind of imprinted in our brains, right? Awesome. Next one.
Yeah.
Let me make sure that I'm not skipping anyone this time.
No, just go for the second line and we're good. This one has a video. I'll jump here so you can watch it first. Can it be?
Okay, let's check it out.
This one, I think, is this one. I think it will play without sound. Do you hear it?
Driven by function.
Okay.
And reset. Let's go back. Here we go.
Nice. So yeah. So again, looking at the video, right, like the whole thing. So again, my favorite board in this one will be like here, because you're sharing some of the process, right? And because the video cannot be the main delivery, right, of the idea, right? In a sense that here I can see you thinking and where you're going, right? But and then we have like a final view here, right? Maybe like even better than the video, I would love to see more views of the car, like maybe variations of the design of the form, right? Right, like I think we have a too big of a step from the sketches and then to something too final, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the video, right?
You would
So
like to see some ideation, right?
yeah, a little bit more of like the in between the sketch and this final design, right? Because for example, um, talking right like from the foundations of design, right? Like how does your user that you just showed me relate to this end product, right? that's like, because you show me the girl, right? But now you show me your final design is like something rugged, faceted, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very geometrical. Right? So how does that? What can you? How can you validate that that persona wants to buy this car, right? So I think that's the like a big thing that, like, again, that I always like to push it, right? The why of the things, right? And not just like form and sketch and the fun part of design, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like all the critical thinking behind. Another thing that I would say, right, and is basically the form, right? So for example, how does this type of form could relate to Nike, right? I don't think there's uh, too much of a reason for it look like that, right? Even, just besides of looking cool, right? For example, so in design, I think is one thing that's extremely important is for us to not design, something that we actually like, just like, I love this type of faceted design, but and then I'm
Yeah.
gonna do this.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, okay, how the product wants to look like, right? Like what this product needs to look like for the user, right?
Yeah.
So, for example, I miss a little bit of Nike on it, right? Like in materials on the forms, like kind of like what we saw on the first one. Is a good example.
Uh-huh.
But again, great sketches, right? Um, like I see, like you maturing nicely your volumes, right? Like how you're developing the volumes, right? Like you have good sketching, good three dimensionality, and in terms of the designing proportions, right? I would say if we look at the car here, I would say that diving down with the shoulder line, right, of the cabin kind of makes the cabin look really big compared to the body of the car, which kind of, it's not in terms of aesthetics and proportions, right? It's not like the ideal, right? It kind of makes it top heavy, right? Um, Rather than, being something that has like a good stance on the ground with, a nice small cabin on top, and it's structured, right?
That's a cool thing here to add what you just said. Look at this sketch when you have like
Much
a third
better.
part and you have like this shoulder and going all
Yeah,
the way down.
and this is actually a beautiful. Thank you for showing this voice, because this is a beautiful volume, right? Like you're still working on um, this type more faceted design, but it has a nice stance. It has nice proportions. It kind of this reminds me a little bit, almost like like kind of the gold age of Alfa Romeo.
Mm,
When they
mm-hmm.
not, but like on a faceted type of design, right? With
Sure,
like
sure.
nice proportions, a small cabin, nice shoulders, right? I think like I'm thinking probably like the Alfa Fulvia, right? Like it has it's a beautiful sketch, right? Like nice proportions. The shoulder line is in the right place, right? So that's the thing. Like sometimes we want to be creative things different, but proportions will always be the the final judge. And also, like, I appreciate you're designing the wheels and thinking about this is such an important part, right? Like we talk about Nike, right? We design shoes, and it's all about the contact with the ground, and we're designing something from the snow. So I want to see that type of stuff. Really want to see it. And I saw that you have like some aggressive tread here, but then like what else? Maybe like you could have like, more ground clearance as well,
Mm-hmm.
right? Making more off road, make this tire have more functionalities too, like how maybe the treads can get even bigger, right? Or maybe you're using airless tires, right? Like so then you can have even more like kind of transformation functionality on it, right? But really cool project, good stuff. Should we go to the next one? Anything
Yeah,
else?
yeah, perfect. Really
Nice.
nice. Next one. Let's go.
Folks, I'm giving you all your feedback here, but again, this is, for you, with the intention to give my 2 cents of advice here, help you all improve
Yeah.
and come up with cool designs, right, in your future. and improve yours, like with the most the I mean, yeah, the biggest best intentions
Yeah,
included,
no,
right?
please. I forgot to say this, and if I'm not wrong, Alex told me to say this. It's not. Don't take it personally, please.
Oh yeah,
That's the thing. Yeah, Rafa here is basically evaluating your work, nothing personally. He doesn't even know who is the person, right? You don't know.
oh
We
yeah,
don't have access. We only have like the name of the proposal, description, and the boards. Okay, so
exactly.
nothing personal.
Yeah, I mean, another advice that I can give is like, every time you receive feedback from, especially like someone that's more experienced, right? Like, maybe no, not all the things that I'll tell you will be right, but it's, if you don't like to receive feedback or you get sad or angry, you don't need to work on your design first. You need to work on yourself first, because that's how designers improve, right?
That's true.
Yeah, and you're gonna receive feedback through your whole life. Like you're gonna be, even when you're a studio, like a great designer, your manager is gonna come and tell things to change, things to do. So that's part of art, and design, right? Like you need to be open to feedback, learn from it, right? And if you're not learning from the feedback, you need to learn how to do it, because that's how you improve.
Exactly.
And then another great project here, right? I see the 3 volume on this one, right? We're thinking the right place. I'll, I think the renders are really nice. I see the the blender. I think this one had some sketches too, or no?
It has, I think, in the third board. Here it
Yeah.
is.
So this one has some good sketches. I see some nice development, right, on it. Um, on the So, like some really good sketches here. I see good stuff in there, right? Um, I would love to see this sketch a little bit wider, and kind of the wheel feel a little bit too inside of the body, right? So kind of like pushing this, the wheels out, like, and really giving space, right? Like for, uh, even on the 3D, there's not a lot of suspension travel here, right? So you need, this is in the ice. It needs to be capable. It needs to be like, go up and down, right? And but I love this tiny sketch here. I think it shows volume, right? Like you have this nice expressive rear right here, right? Um, a good side view. I see good proportions in it, right? But and then on the whole, like my first feedback on top of the whole presentation is that maybe it has too many written stuff, right? Like
Yeah.
sometimes you don't need to write everything, right? Or if you can't explain everything visually, it's hard. It's almost impossible sometimes. But if you can do that visually, awesome. That's like a gold presentation, right? When you explain everything with just visuals, right? And it's possible, right?
Yeah.
So too much written stuff. Great sketches. I see the process. I saw it translating from the development sketches to the uh, to the 3D.
Mm-hmm.
What I would say in terms of design will be, um, like I would love to see a front that's a little bit more defined, or like more developed, or a little bit more creative. I mean, it is creative, but I think it kind of like, it kind of reminds me a little bit of a turtle somehow, right?
Mm.
Like with the right, like the eyes are round and too much towards the sides, like in a sense that, uh, like towards the sides, not like towards the front. I would love to see one more. If you stay on here, like maybe like a something here, or like like a little bit high, because it just looks like it only has fog lights, or like yeah, fog lights. And I would love to see, or even maybe like more lights, right? Like it's something. Look at every rally car, or there's this legendary picture of uh, the Audi Quattro on the snow, and has like the 6 giant
Yeah, no, that's cool.
yeah, yeah, headlight, fog lights in it,
Fog
and they're
lights.
like rounded and they're organized like in a triangle like that. And look at go at those reference like and try to translate it into your concept, right? Try to get really cool things that are on the automotive motorsport world and assimilate it and bring it in, right? Um,
It's kind of technical, right? Because it needed those
yeah,
lights to ride on snow or whatever, but it also make it looks like a badass, right? When you put those
exactly.
together, like, oh, it's functional, but it make it looks cool, like, so that's the perfect thing.
100%. Yeah, I couldn't put it better, right? Like it needs to be badass, right? And for example, same thing with we could have maybe like a few more elements of Nike there too, like some material changes. I'd love to see that. Like we're doing something that it's car, but it's also at the same time garment, like yeah, like fashion,
Mm-hmm.
right? Can we go back to the left?
Sure, sure. Which one?
Oh, sorry, yeah, the beginning of the presentation, the final,
Uh,
and
oh, so
oh yeah,
the first board, this one?
yeah. The second is good. The
Okay,
second
okay.
board, yeah. And then, for example, I think there's, for example, like the ice break inspired from design. Um, so I think it's really hard to translate kind of like how I think the idea is fun, but um, why, right? Like, why are
Mhm.
we going to take? I mean, I'm not saying that's wrong. You can have like a good answer for it, but for example, you need to have a strong reason for the things that we put in there. So, for example, if I just taking the inspiration from the icebreaker to put it in the car just because of the looks is one thing. It's way stronger if I'm taking elements that are actually functional, right? So, for example, when you look at off-roading, you see cars with like a skid plate, right? So this like strong metal plate under the car that protects the bottom from scratches, anything that runs over, right? So that would be make more sense than the line of the icebreaker. And also, I don't know exactly, right? Like from the like a icebreaker ship exactly uh, what you're taking from, right? But
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that's um, the box idea here, like the thing that goes up and hold, is interesting, right? But what else can you carry there? Like maybe maybe like would be better to have like off-road and rack on it that
Yeah,
you could really use as a storage.
yeah, this one maybe doesn't feel functional. Maybe
Yeah,
thing wouldn't like stay over there. I'm not sure. I'm just
mhm.
trying
Yeah,
to think about it.
exactly. It's this one is a hard sell, I'd say, right?
Yeah.
Like it, and also like when you're putting stuff on top of something that's also metallic color is gonna scratch, right? Everything. So you need to if you're gonna put uh, any stuff on top of it, right? You need to use rug materials, right? But overall, I think it's cool. I really like the if when we look at the side view, right? With uh yeah, I think there's 3D
This
here.
one?
Yeah,
I
this one.
lost you. Where are you?
Yeah, sorry, yeah, I was on a different screen.
Oh no.
Okay, right here. Yeah. But it has a nice stance proportions here when we look from the side with this nice ground clearance. As I said, more suspension travel. But then when we get to the front, I think you just get like this flat point, right? But like it's you could still create something a little bit more flat,
Hmm.
but that follows more the form again, right? But like this is cool, and uh, yeah, I mean, be hard to jump. I don't know if there's a door on the side here, a person just had to jump over the side.
Yeah, looks like.
Yeah, but you know, yeah, no, it's not gonna be easy to get in, right? Like, but yeah, it's a concept, right? Let's see.
Yeah, no, but functional part is important
Yeah,
because it
yeah,
make it more maybe
mhm,
realistic.
yeah,
You buy it easily. I mean, you would
yeah,
oh,
because
this is looks like something that would work.
Yeah, exactly. And for example, if you have, for example, if you have something that you need to jump over the side, maybe you need to have a side that's a little bit more simplified, so it's easy to jump over, or maybe like you need to have like a
Yeah,
little
perfect.
step, so
Exactly.
someone can step and then get inside, right?
Yeah, it doesn't
But
look like a car. Okay, I can open there, but it doesn't make it easy to get in. Yeah, that's the thing. That's
exactly,
true. Yeah.
exactly. Awesome. All right,
Cool.
I think we're
Cool.
ready to the next one for the next one.
Yeah. Just one last point that I just noticed that is it's using like the how you call this thing? This
The
is
snowboard.
a snowboard, but it's using like a wing.
Yeah,
Kind of. I saw it that way. But
yeah. I
cool.
think that's really fun.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
This is actually a really, I don't know if it was intentional, but using the snowboard as a wing could be like a very cool touch
Yeah.
for it.
Nice. Let's get to the next one. Okay.
Hmm.
Cool. Let's go.
Yeah, great. This one, I think we. Uh, by the way, cool design, right? Like if there's something really cool about the product itself, but I think it's kind of like we're forcing a little bit too much on the, kind of like stretching it too much on the tree volume, right? Because when we look at this, uh, we don't see like a tree volume. Even if in the next slide there is, I like this process part here with the color breaks and everything. This is really nice. But then we have like a little explanation here, but it's not a tree volume. Like if we are tracing a line here, right? It's like a monovolume, right? Like it's one single line, right? And when we were talking about uh, right, like tree volume, oops, right? We talking about like the almost like I said that, right? I mean, or something close to it, right? Like you can change it a little bit, right? But a little bit um, off the briefing, I would say, right?
Yeah.
But it's interesting. I think he kind of mixed a little bit of F1 into snow, like a snowmobile. And what I would say is that the in terms of like design and the function, right? Coming back to the foundation, right, of design is um, one of the things is, will this be able to actually cruise through the terrain, right? I see, for example, some portions, right? Like, for example, if you go back to the front, to the first board, yeah, you know, this seems pretty close to the ground as well, right? And it's like a rigid portion of the design. So when you look at a snowmobile, right, like you have the skis that are on the snow, but they're all kind of mobile and they have suspension, right? So maybe like a hard sell here. I like how you use the ski on the back, right? So that makes a lot of sense. And on the tires, right? Like if this type of tire is a tire that's for sand, like right, like for dune bugs, right?
In this one, you can see even better.
Yeah, exactly. We can see really well here. So more research on the fundamentals of your concept, right? Is like really like my concept is really onto the briefing. It's not just something that I want to do and something cool, right? Like choose the idea that really kind of matches the briefing and the function, right? So for example, if you're doing snow tires, right? Like kind of designer tires, right? It's like such an important part of this process, right? This project, right? Nike design shoes, right? So we should be doing the contact with the ground is supposed to be like also like a big portion of design rather than like something that will just use a template or grab CAD and so on, right?
Yeah, totally. Well, good one.
Yeah,
Nice feedback. I think we can move to the next one. What you think?
let's go. Let's
Okay.
go.
So
I'm
third
sorry if
line.
I'm looking to the right here, but I'm using two screens.
Oh yeah, no, no problem. And this one.
Nice. So yeah, I mean, great work here. I really appreciate the implementation of the briefing in this one. The colors, right? I can look at this and understand that this person has a good perception of aesthetics, proportions, right? Because it was, I mean, it is a 3-volume, right? Maybe a little bit kind of like a pickup, but what is actually really fun in this one that I appreciate is I see this person understands the briefing, understands what like a traditional 3-volume look in car design, but also was able to explore it a little bit further, right, to create something new. So, for example, with the kind of like inverted windshield, and here it's just kind of like a slightly more inclined on the back, right? Um, and then how the sculpture is also developed as well. So the and then it's also adding all kind of like elements that I look, okay, this is a car that probably was designed by a shoe company, right?
Yeah.
So we have like different materials and uh, the, the 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 CMF, right? Color, materials, and finishes make sense, right? My comments will be, I really want to see how you got here, right? Like there's cool stuff, but what's the validation of this idea? How many sketches you did to kind of get there, or what are the variations, right? I don't know, like what's the I want to see how you got there. I really like, the designers, they are designers because they love design, and the coolest part of a product is not the final product. The coolest part is how the product was done, right? Like how it was sketched, how it was designed, right? How the designer thought about that, right? Like how he got to that idea, right?
Yep.
So make sure to put some of this in there. Even if you haven't done sketches, your process is just diving in 3D and pull surfaces around. Show that. Show how, document it. Make it. Show your iterations of the process, and um, and again, and then like things that could be better too. Again, I think the tires and wheels, right? Like I see that there's something different in there, but I don't know how it works, right? Like if you thought about it, right? And and also like I think the front's a little bit kind of like looking downward, right? So, but I look at the side, excuse me, the side and the rear has nice proportions, something different. It has a nice ground clearance. It looks off-roader. What do you think, Mauricio?
Yeah, no. I was thinking about how do you call this? The
Uh,
suspension? Why do I don't
Suspension travel, yeah.
suspension travel? Maybe it's too close. Looks like a normally car designers really enjoy doing like cars with like big
Yeah,
wheels, so that's pretty
uh,
common even on like off-roaders. On the
exactly.
sketch looks cool, but in real life it wouldn't work. So as you said,
Mhm.
on many proposals now, it would be nice to have like more
Exactly.
space for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, really good point. Because first of all, we're scared. Like as designers, of course, we love cars and we love sports cars, but and we always sketching the tire as like a super thin line, and the car is super low, so the tire is basically like touching the the metal, right? But like when you jump to design a folder, we went back to that what I was talking about. Right? The product needs to be cohesive to what the product is, right? So, for example, rather than like just let me draw another color here, but rather than kind of making the the tire and like the
Yeah,
sorry, the
big
wheel arch and the
angles.
tire is right here, and then oh, this is a terrible drawing. But then my wheel goes all the way onto the tire. I mean, and I do this on my sketches too, right? But when I'm doing off-roader, right, I make sure that, and I even exaggerate this more. And rather than just making the tire that look like a, a, a hairline, right? I make the tire even bigger, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and this is something you can see, for example, on Daniel oh, I just forgot his name. Sorry,
From
I
Jeep.
know his Kalanachi, yeah,
From Jeep, yeah, yeah.
from Jeep. His sketches there, his Jeeps have like this giant enormous tires that look like a giant donut, right? So that's the thing, right? Like you can also even want to show the section of the tire a little bit, how it's like rounded and then negative, has a little bit of a shadow here. and then you do your things, but then you have this. I mean, this looks like off-road, and if you wanna even show a little bit of the, the suspension in there, that's chef's kiss, right? It just makes it look so cool, right? But then
Yeah,
like
totally.
yeah, and you push it out of the body, right? Kind of like what that was done here, right? Like this. This is something that is nice here. The tire is kind of sticking out a little bit. It's just
Mm-hmm. It
we don't
looks
have a
big.
lot of tire.
It looks rugged, but I find it nice. I'm not sure if you agree on, but when you have like sports cars, you rely mostly on the shape itself. The surfaces all flowing nicely. But
Hmm.
when you have like an off-roader, it's nice to go a bit more technical, right? When you have some
Exactly.
surface, it's something that's showing what's beneath the shape, So that's pretty
Mhm.
cool.
Yeah, couldn't say better. Like you need a little bit of that technicality,
Yeah.
for an off-roader.
Nice. It's a nice one. It really relies. I can see maybe Nikes on it. It looks. It has some what I would call like some random surfaces as I
Yeah,
see on shoes.
yeah, a
Where you
little
have
bit.
something that does that make sense? No, that's like a strange and kind of random cut, but it makes sense in here, and I think it's a good take on the theme.
Mhm. Yeah, like I I like that a lot. Like for example, if this was strictly car design, I would say like, oh, it's too crazy, right? Like,
Yeah.
but like shoe design sometimes doesn't make a lot of sense, and it kind of like has something on these lines here, like you said, right? And I
Yeah.
think it kind of like it works somehow, but we still maybe we miss like a little bit like more of a sprinkle of car design on it, right? Just a little bit, right? Like kind of making some lines a little bit more logical.
And as you said, would be nice to see the ideation or the starting sketch and
Yeah,
something, not just the 3D and the final board, but a bit of development would be really cool to see.
100%, 100%.
Cool. Next one.
Yes, let's go.
Yep. And now to Icebound, which is the
Nice.
name of it.
Yeah, so in this one. Oh, by the way, I like the freshness of the color, the colors and materials that were chosen here, right? There's um, a lot in it. Maybe like it goes almost too much, right? But I like it. I like to see the kind of pushing it more into this kind of like almost like fashion, right?
Yeah, true.
Um, but like for example, when we look at I think the side view, it's nice because you know, to talk about it because for example, we don't there's not a there's not too much like when we look at the front view because we're kind of hiding the front, right? So just by looking at the side view, it just gets more simple and it gets better, right? So sometimes we can need to be careful to not kind of overcook the design, right? I like the interior shots where like I see all the materials and how that was used as well. And on the and fitting on the briefing, right? I would say I understand the three box parts that you have in here, but it's not like a let's say a three volume car, right? Because for example, the vehicle, right? The first portion here is just basically one volume, right, and then down, and it sounds like a MPV pickup, right? So this whole thing here, you don't have like a hood, let's say, right? To be 100% on the briefing, right? You have to, kind of like break this a little bit more, right?
Yeah.
And then you say, okay, right, like that. I would say like this is in 100% on the briefing, right?
No, totally.
Um,
Normally, the keyword thing, it's tricky. Of course, it's always
yeah,
tricky, and because since we push people to try to be creative, it's nice
exactly.
to see some takes like this. He seems to be separating the car in three parts for sure,
Hmm.
and
Yep.
it's doing through color, and not just color, but texture and some functionality.
Yeah.
But the whole view, it's still kind of, even if you're literal on like three box and three compartments, three separations, Maybe it's not there. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's very impressive that in like this short period of time you did the exterior, you did the
Yeah.
interior, right? So like really good work. Like you put some intricate details on the wheels as well. Like I'd love to see this wheel. Like I like this interior portion of the wheel, but I'd love to see this. Maybe like you run out of time, all the time. I don't know. Like the outer portion of the tire, it just looks it's just silly extrusions, right? So well, maybe I'd love to see this kind of like the faces, just being a little bit rounder, right, on the edges and
Mm-hmm.
a little bit more in there. But um, let's keep going to the next one.
Okay.
To
Cool.
the
Next
let
one.
me see. Oh yeah.
Do you want to see
Oh
other
yeah.
boards?
Can I see
Okay.
the
Okay.
rear?
Of
Yeah,
course.
I love
Of
to see
course.
the rear. Sorry, next board. Yeah. Yeah. And then one more advice would be to really, like you're doing a project like that off road, right? So like looking into the technicality of it, because I saw that you took your time to model the drive shaft, the differential, and the CV axles, right? But you have like a hard axle here, right? That's not what's optimal for off roading, right? So for example, you kind of want to have something that will be able to move. Like I see that there is a like some type of arm suspension, his swing arm, right? In here, right? But your axle is like rigid, right? Like this part here, right? So if you're doing something conceptual, right? Like this was how like off-road cars were done like during the Second World War, right? So looking in the future, like look at Baja trucks, right? When you look at Baja trucks, they have independent suspension arms, right? And CV axles that they can go up and down, right? So that'll be a huge portion of it. I think will fit your project so well and make it look really so cool, right?
Cool.
And then last thing is on the front, I would love to see the front view, just some more elaborate final design of the front here, right? Because right now we have this square and another cube right here, right? It's not matching onto the volume. Use the actual volume of your vehicle here to kind of design your lights, right? Maybe I don't know. I don't know how you do that, but like maybe put lights on the top as well. And
It's again
just
maybe
as-
that thing of making it look like a badass, right?
yeah, exactly right. Those lights were a little bit shy, and
Yeah.
also like the pipes that come out from here and go inside the glass, and then they go to the back. I think that's something that Mauricio pointed out, and I didn't. So maybe it's too much, right? Like those pipes here that go inside the windshield, right?
I think it's what you say. Why?
Yeah, exactly.
It looks
Good
interesting.
points.
It's different, but why?
Explain, yeah, exactly. Explain us why, right? Like if you have a good reason for it, awesome, right?
Hmm.
Like we buy it, right? Okay, yeah, that's just a quick,
No, it makes like a with a different mood, you know. And I'm not sure
yeah,
if it's the right word, but it's kind of you look at
exactly,
differently to it, right? So you have like a face and you have like an expression in it. I know it's not
exactly,
face, but you bring some value to the vehicle itself. And as you said before, it make it even wider, you know, because this thing looks big, pretty big.
exactly.
And when you put it like info and really enrich the sides as you did
Yeah.
right there with like some quick sketching, and you can see how it can be even better, you know.
Oh yeah, it's a definitely a cool vehicle. Like if I were you, I would definitely keep developing this project because, for example, you have a simple form, right? That's like this pyramid thing, right? Like with the rounded edges, or just right, that goes all like super simple shape, right? That you could, you know, you don't need to kind of break it too much anymore. Like it's already very unconventional, right?
Yeah.
And like just kind of breaking the lines. This is actually super cool. Like this it's like a pyramid thing with rounded edges. It looks so cool already, right?
Yep.
Because you look at the work from Stefan Janin, right? Like he makes things that are like simple volumes with amazing graphics on it, and it looks incredible. You don't need to cut and sculpt it too much sometimes, right? Especially something that has to be functional. Yeah.
Very cool. You can keep it, no problem. You don't
Yeah.
have to. Yeah, just keep it.
I'm gonna keep the lines.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Next one.
Right. Next one, let's go.
So RC, just do it.
Nice. Yeah, I mean this one, I see like a good use of AI in this one. Right, like like based on the description as you're saying, the it's a smart way of working, right? Quick sketch, color block, throw in AI. That's something that people are doing in the industry, right? What I like about it is that the person displays like enough understanding of 3D form to be able to use AI, right? So for example, we look at your sketch here and we have a surface. I see that I have a chamfer here, right? And then there's a tiny little lip, right? That shows me that this person really understands that every surface has a thickness, right? We don't see that like sometimes you just like the surface ends on a line, right? So and this edge kind of runs across the whole shape. So this person here understands 3D form, right?
Yep.
So really good thing on this, right? Like I can see these volumes a little bit up. Right? It comes out and in and then go in. So it's believable that the threads are right where they are, right? Like it's not something that's squished into the form, right? All these things make sense. I think that the touch of the snowboard inserted there is really cool, even though the the snowboard's probably like twice of the size of a human being. I like
Oh, really? Is that big?
no, I mean
Oh no, this one. Gotcha.
yeah, this one
No,
because
gotcha.
like the person's probably gonna be seated here because the seats are pretty tiny. Also, the steering wheel kind of comes out a little bit. Excuse me, a little bit too big, right, for a person, right? So like yeah, if we're measuring the snowboard here, it's
Yeah,
got like
no.
a yeah,
It's almost a surfboard, probably.
yeah, it could be a longboard, yeah,
Longboard?
yeah,
Yeah, okay.
for surfboard.
Yeah.
And my other comment in this, I mean, another way, nice process, right? Cool, uh, cool volumes as well. Let's look at the next board as well.
This one?
Sorry, the third one, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Let me just drink a sip of water here.
Oh, of course. I'll do the same.
Yeah, in storytelling, you on your background, you have a little bit of the mountains, the ice. It's just you're telling the whole story. That's beautiful, and I like here just with the lines. It has a good aesthetic sense. What I would say is the only let's say mistake, right? That I would say is that the parts that's touching the ice, the ground, there's no suspension, right? So you go straight from right a hard material that's the metal of the side to then make the running surface here, right? So that'll be this the vibration of the ground will be immediately transferred to the body of the car, the interior, the cabin, everywhere. This probably is probably gonna break, right? If you go on hard surface or like hard ice, right? And me as a Brazilian, I didn't see snow like in my whole like for like most of my life until I moved to Italy, right? So then I went there to like I learned snowboarding, right? Like and that I went to the mountain for the first time I saw snow. I understood that snow is not this fluffy cotton thing that we imagine, right? Like, and then I don't know if if you haven't been, people haven't been in the snow, right? It's you have like the soft snow, that the one that's just falls and it's like little flakes, right? And it's like beautiful and it's the best snow. then you have the snow that's like ice, it's like
Bunch of ice cubes, right?
yeah,
So
like
it's hard.
shaved
Yeah,
ice.
yeah.
Yeah, like the shaved ice that you drink, you eat, right?
Yeah.
And it's like hard, and like one time I saw like a pile of snow, like my first time on the snow. It's like I'm just gonna jump on it, and I jumped, and it was like jumping on concrete, not concrete, but it was pretty hard. And, yeah,
Then you
and then
learn.
you have
Then you
yeah,
learn.
and that's how you learn. And then there's ice, like there's places that's just like the ground is frozen, so it's hard, it's really hard.
Yeah.
Then anyway, so that's the thing. Like if we have a final look at the AI image
Oh,
of
let's go.
this, yeah, that's the right. Like so, that will be my comment. So again, look at your references, build your visual library, right? So for example, look at snowmobiles, right? They have the skis that goes on the snow, but they are very independent, right? Like they turn to the side, like this one can turn, right? So they go up and down. They have suspension, so they go up and down like that too, right? So that's the only thing that's missing. And I would keep developing this as a really cool project. Also, for example, AI also fixed for you like the size of the people, right? Like look how
Yeah.
much bigger, right? The seats are now. The steering wheel makes sense, right? Oh, there's actually a person. I just noticed. There's
Yeah, there's like a
yeah,
shade
with a
of a
very
person.
long arm.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's now the snowboard kind of makes more sense with the size. So it's but that's like the thing. Um, just look at the technicality of it, and it's gonna make a really cool project.
This I just wondering two things. I just this front part it reminded, not sure why, but from Peugeot cars, not the current one, but
Yeah,
I mean the eye, maybe
yeah,
the look of it. But and even this kind of cup. But I was almost hoping to see like the little tiger over here, you know.
yeah. There's a nice volume here. I
Yeah, yeah.
like this a lot.
Hmm.
That's something really nice into this volume here.
And it's really truthful to the sketch, you know.
Yeah,
It was all decided over here. You can see that no AI didn't. It only put the shade, put some light in the shadows, of course. But
yeah,
you can see that the volume, as you said, it was all defined on the sketch. That's the
yeah,
cool part.
yeah.
And
It's again.
go
I
ahead,
think it's a
please.
great example of a good use of AI as you're saying. The person understand volume, understand the proportions, and it translated really well, and that's great.
And the last thing for me about the three volumes, three box, does it had enough?
Yeah, good point. Yeah, I think that's the. I think we have a little bit of a hood and then a little break, right? So if you're following this corner of the cabin, yeah, it's almost like a monovolume with a tiny truck in the back, right? But I would say this will pass, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like because this tiny break right here, right, of the straight line here, and then the corner of the windshield. Yeah, I
Perfect.
think I
Cool.
think it passed.
Nice. Let's go to the next one.
Let's go.
And here we go.
Nice. Yeah. So this one had. I think it has a very like. There's some interesting comments. Like I deliberately refuse to simply replicate and plant the logo on the car. Right, but um, I don't know exactly what it's saying about that, but like it's not design is not about putting a logo on something, right? I can I can take the logo, of I'm sorry, I just keep thinking about the Ferrari that looks like a Wrangler, but like a Jeep. But sorry, yeah, I mean, if I take the logo of an Audi and I put it on Mercedes, it's not gonna make the Mercedes an Audi, right? It's about the form, how the like the communication of form, how people interpret that form, and if it looks like if it's a Nike product, if it's a Ferrari product, a Lamborghini product, right? like for example, like Lamborghini and Ferrari, they're sports cars, but they couldn't be more different than the other. Like the one is geometrical, aggressive, right, extreme. The other is elegant, supposed to be elegant, right, sculptural. Um, and here, what I see is actually, I like a lot the side view, right? Like there's something really nice here on this side view. Actually, there's something very interesting here that I think you could develop really well. But for example, what Nike is, right? Like where's the different materials and Nike. If you look at their shoes, right, they're in this phase that they're way more like kind of like unlogical, I would say, with right. And there's not much logic on the lines, right? But still they have some harmony to it, right? Like for example, if I was designing a shoe, it would never look like the shoes that they have because of this, like I was trained as a car designer and I want the lines to make sense in a way, right? But so and here I think everything makes too much sense. For example, right? Like you have like a straight line, right? And then this is your wheel arches are completely concentric to the tires, right? So this, for example, this is probably kind of like how Apple developed their products, right?
Luce,
More
you mean?
logical. Huh?
Luce, you mean?
Yeah, let's those. Oh yeah, that car. Anyway, the I want you to stop thinking about it. But anyway, the here, like that's very logical. Like everything is inside a box, right? So uh, we need to kind of find this mid-term, right? Like between, well, like for example, here, like we have something that's almost like uh, a truck bumper, right?
Yep.
So yeah, think about look at again, what type of uses this is like a limousine for the ice, right? It looks like kind of like something like that, like a Rolls Royce for the ice or something, right? So then, if it is, then it's a luxury product. And how does a luxury product needs to look like in the ice, right? Like um, or for example, is it a true off-roader? I'm carrying loads of something, right? Then it needs to look like an off-roader, right? But I think it's cool. It looks like a limousine in the ice, right? Like like a Rolls Royce or something, right? But then go to Rolls Royce and look how they do their cars, right? Like I'm saying Rolls Royce because that you have like a flat um, this flat front here, right? But it what I was saying, yeah. So just make sure that there's an intention, right? Because what's missing here is the intention of what this product it is, right? Like for example, why it has 16 wheels, right? Sorry, 8 wheels, right?
Eight
Why do you
wheels?
need
Yeah, 8 wheels.
yeah, I kind of double the wheels for a little bit.
Yeah,
And
I totally agree with you, and I think I understood like he didn't just wanted to put the logo, the Nike logo in the car, and that's kind of a nice. The way I understood is like he wanted the car to look like from Nike without having the logo, without
yeah,
needing the logo, which is nice. But then uh, I don't see any. Well, I might be wrong, of course, but I can't really see Nike surfaces or textures or colors. It
materials.
goes exactly as you said. It goes like a classical car, like a Rolls Royce or a limousine, something more like not in the way that I would expect from Nike.
Mhm.
But go ahead, please. I just got it.
Yeah, no, this is a really good point, right? Like where sneaker design is all about materials, right? Sometimes you look at the sneaker and it has this incredible combination of like a semi-transparent material with this like full green and gray, and there's like a recycled material with this amazing pattern, right? So for example, look at Nike's lineup, the ACG, right, the all condition gear. there's so much cool things that you can get inspired and replicate onto the design. Right?
Yep.
Awesome. Let's go to the next one.
Yep, let's go. Third line. This is the third. Just let me check if we didn't jump any. Yeah, let's go.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So, and if we're talking about shoes,
Mhm.
this one is, I must say that it's kind of hard to get at first, but it's kind of a shoe, some sort of turned into a vehicle.
Yes, yeah. That's I think the biggest thing about this project. It's cool because it's out of the box and it's different, but at the same time, it's hard to understand it, right? It took a minute to kind of, in the beginning, I looked at it, right, and I was like, it thought was broken because there's
Yeah.
this part, but then we spoke. I was like, oh no, that's actually because it's inside the snow, right?
Yeah.
So it's the shape, when every time, I'm not saying that you cannot do something that's new, but every time you do something that's completely different than anything, need to be really good at explaining how it works, right? So being very make it easy to understand so people don't like, oh, I don't get it, and move on, right?
Yeah.
And of course we spend some time here to understand, okay, we got the idea, right? But yeah, like focus on your storytelling a lot, right? Like, it's not the best layout, I would say here, right? Like the images kind of one on the side of the other and a few call outs, right? Um, but like, why they use thrusters, like what the retractable anchors does, right? It looks like soccer cleats, which is cool. It's attached to Nike, but why they're there, how they work is like a brake. It's to brake the car, it's to keep the car from sliding, right? Yeah, let's keep going to the right.
Yes, this is an action scene.
Yeah, like an action scene, hero shot type of, but then like we don't see a lot of the product in this one, right?
Yeah, true.
Maybe oh yeah, that's where I want to get, right? Like I love this part here because your sketches are so cool in this one. Like you have like you're very powerful on your sketches. You're expressive. There's things that are really fresh in there, right? But then I don't see almost like any connection from the sketches to the final product, right? For example, when I understood how the person writes this when I looked at this one here, right? But then when we look at the 3D, right? The 3D doesn't have these proportions. The 3D has like this proportion.
Yeah, true.
So my biggest advice, I'm not going to talk too much about the product. My biggest advice for you, really, you need to, right? Like your homework, right? Let's say, is to really kind of, you need to be able to translate all this, like how cool your sketches are into your 3D work, right? Because it's so expressive and there's like something special on them. There's like the style, the tiny arrows, how you make the pen look on the paper, right? Your hands is really good. So really try to, for example, a good exercise is to choose one sketch, like one key sketch, and really try to make your product look exactly like that, right? Like and don't lose track, right? Like that's an exercise, right? It's not a project, it's an exercise. Make a sketch, make your 3D to look as almost as similar as you can to that, because you're gonna be, and if you do this multiple times, you go from, okay, my sketch, my 3D model, and then I look at it, how does this look? I need to change this and that, and then you keep going, and then you change it, and then you do a few more rounds of change, and then you're, oh, this actually looks pretty good. What do I need to do on the next one? And then you do this again, and then you do another sketch, and then you try to translate this in 3D, and then and so on. If you struggle, I mean, you seem to have good 3D skills, but if you struggle on that, maybe try to sculpt by hand some foam, right? Like some cheap material, like polystyrene, just so you can feel the surfaces, try to make it look like your sketch, and then you try to do a 3D, right? That'll be a great exercise because, I mean, you're already doing the hard part it has to, sorry, the hard part is like to have sketches that are like strong and recognizable with style and loose, right? But you're just missing on the translation to the final idea. Right?
Perfect. Just perfect. And I think it's the same way, because the part of the sketch is so important when you find like the proportions, the right proportions, and then
Yeah.
when you're translating to 3D, if you lose that, it just breaks the connection, right?
Yeah. He has his sketch has good volumetrics, right? Even if I don't know if maybe he doesn't understand volumetric really well. A good I don't know exactly where, right? Like I'm not seeing your sketching right like right now, but
Oh, sorry.
yeah, but oh yeah. So one thing, easy exercise to do is to cover your sketches with section lines, right? To really kind of like, okay, the proportions will be like the surface is gonna go positive, in, out, right? Like and then okay, 2 centimeters, and then you do another section line, and really try to sculpt that in your hand, right? Because the sketches are awesome, right? And you need to learn how to translate that into awesome products.
Perfect. Next one.
Yep.
Okay, now. Oh, it has also Swoosh. Is the same name? Does it mean something to Nike? I think I miss it.
Oh,
Because
Swoosh is the
Swoosh and Swoosh again. Swoosh
yes,
Zero.
it's how they call the logo.
Oh, so
Yeah,
I missed an important part. Sorry for that.
yeah, the
It's called Swoosh. I didn't know that.
Swoosh. Yeah,
I never heard about
I don't know
this.
if
In
they.
Portuguese, you don't have it.
Yeah, I don't know if they came up with this word or if it's actually something that exists in the English language. I'm not the best English
No,
speaker,
no, it makes
but
sense. The movement now,
yeah, it kind of
I can
sounds like a
hear it.
swoosh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
perfect.
a
Just perfect.
swoosh. Yeah.
Swoosh. Pretty cool.
When I'm sketching, I always doing sound effects. Especially when I'm teaching, somehow like I kind of keep like I need to do like shh. And yeah, I just can't hold it. My sound effects when I'm sketching. I think maybe that was kind of how this was created. Someone did it. I was like, oh, you just do a swoosh.
Yeah, that was the briefing from the product team.
Yeah.
I
I
need a
kind of I want to
swoosh.
read.
Oh,
I want
hell.
to. I want to read about it now. But anyway,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, this was a cool idea, but then like cool visuals, right? And and the on the comments is saying that there was sketches and a 3D model, but then I would love to see that. I want to see the sketches and 3D models. Uh, I want to see the process, right? How we got
Yeah.
here, right?
And
Because for example, right
exist.
now,
No, no,
yeah, sorry.
just pointing out that he said that or he or she, of course, started off doodling, and it would be nice to see the doodles.
Blender. Yeah, I would love to see that process. How was the development of your Blender? Like maybe a couple of screenshots of like the progress of the 3D model, right? And because the AI visuals are really cool, right? But at the same time they're a little bit incoherent, right? Like to one to another, right? For example, the first one we have cleat tires. On the second, it's like a tread almost, right?
Yep.
Um, me and Mauricio were talking maybe like the side view, the three-dimensionality of the side view doesn't actually match uh, the front, right? And this is like the danger of AI, right? It can be very inconsistent, right? Like for example, this. I'm sketching the wrong screen. Sorry.
Oh, where are you?
This pillar, that was my fault. So this pillar here feels like it's kind of running, like almost like over the radius because the radius of your cabin is right here, right? The fillet, right? Like, so the corner of your cabin. And when we look at the side view, it looks like the orange just goes past it, right? So then your windshield is actually gonna be like this tiny little thing here,
Yep.
right? On the on 3D, sorry, in the three-quarter front view. So again, that's AI, right? Like you need to be in control of it, right? Like for example, also from the side, it kind of looks very flat, right? Compared to here, it's a little bit more curved. And I'd love to see this, this as like, a very, sorry, a very curved volume, because it's like everything is round. So you kind of want, you have a round section here. I'd love to see this, like, oops, it's getting with the mouse, but, see a very nice curvy type of body, and again, it needs to work too, right? So I'm gonna leave the drawing here, so yeah. And like maybe this is oh, by the way, something really cool is that we see the swoosh here on the gray, right? That's, you created that really nicely, and that's cool. Very smart way to think about design. But here the metal is just getting really close to the ground, right? There's no suspension travel for this, right? Like the right. So look, let's go on the 3/4 fronts. And yeah, here like it's right. Like so, if we look here, the tire is right on the ground with zero suspension, right? So like you go on a bump and it's like the whole car is like, like a F1, right? The suspension travel of one is really short, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because something that's low to the ground, performance, speed, right? Here we are on the off-road ground where you need to have your tires running on the surface and your cabin absorbing the impacts, right? And yeah, I think that's it for this one.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing to add. Pretty cool. Good points. Let's move to last line. Here we go.
All right. Yeah, I think this one it's almost off the briefing, right? Because we get you, like if you're looking, right, if you're being like super rigorous with the briefing, this is like almost like a mono volume, right? Like if you're looking at from the windshield to the top is almost like a single line, right? We don't have the traditional 3 volume, right? We have like a 2 volume, but it doesn't mean that's not cool. It's actually really fun, right? I like that a lot. I see some of Nike in it, right? And how kind of like this looks like the protection around the shoe, right? Like you have the shoe, and then you have like the thick rubber that goes around.
Yeah,
I think there's something really cool in that. The sculpture is nice too, right? Like I looking at the side. It has nice shoulders, right? Like it has this nice crease line. We can see the form because you have the door set lines here, the gaps. And it's one of the first ones that really has off-road DNA, right? Like it has nice swing arms in it, right? Like when you look at the suspension travel of this thing here, right? I see the swing arm is actually attached to this point here, so it means that it goes all the way to the center of the wheel here, right? So this be able to kind of go up and down a lot, right? Kind of like a Baja truck, right? And then you have probably like a shocker here that absorbs this movement a little bit, right? But the angle of this is huge, right? So it's truly like I would say like the most kind of real off-road capability of all of them here, right? What I say, like the tire looks a little bit flat on the top, right? And that's something that tires actually I kind of have. If you look at like a nice tire, you always have a beautiful section, right? It's like round here, and then it kind of curves in, and then it curves out, and then in, right? So tires actually is something that really kind of like make the design look really nice, right? So I think we miss a little bit of that, like with the tire being a little bit flat here. And, of course, probably like more of what I said before, like cleats and right, like anything that will grip on the tire, right? Like for example, I remember I think like it's Hankook, the tire company, that they released a bunch of this was like 10 years ago, but they released like some concept tires. And it was like all done in 3D, like a really awesome animation, especially for the time when it was done. But it had like a tire that was for racing that would like separate itself and
Oh yeah.
get wider. There was one that like there was a tire that transformed into like something that could run in the water with some pedals on it. So like that's I think the type of thing that a concept, a project with this briefing had to had to have, right? Some type of like transformation of the tires. Like, hey, if I'm running on hard ice, the tires like this. If I'm running on the snow, it changes, right? So this could be really cool. I think that's the thing that will make this project even better. And maybe I mean, maybe I'm being too old and boring. Put some eyes on it, right? Like where they should be, because it's almost like the lights are on the chin, right? And oops, doesn't need to be here, right? But like you could, I don't know, put your lights in a higher spot, maybe.
Yeah, and I agree with you because this thing ends up by bringing some sort of personality to the car. It doesn't look like a okay, like a shape, like a wraparound, but it just flows, you know.
Exactly.
It's nice
I
to
agree.
bring some points where maybe an air vent, maybe
Yeah,
something that will enrich that place, right? Enrich that part of the car.
100%, 100%. Right. Again, there's you see if you look at the main image here, you know, I do not see any light posts. I don't see any other cars. The If it gets night, the only lights you see, it's yours. So and especially like I think during the winter is like it's night for 10 hours, right? Like
Yeah.
12, 10 hours, like almost like 20 hours
Yeah, maybe
night.
the whole day you won't see like the sun much higher
Yeah,
from the horizon. That's the thing. Yeah, that's true.
and during the summer, and also the daylights is like the whole day, right? So
Yeah, yeah. Never a full day, but like a small light of the day.
yeah, I
Oh,
think like in Sweden they talk about the midnight sun. That's like when the sun just
yeah,
kind
I
of
think that's it.
starts to go down and then it goes up again
Yeah, I think
on the horizon.
I have I have seen some like time lapse video from the sun. It doesn't. I mean, we're used to get it like midday, just on top
Mhm.
of our head,
Yeah,
and when you see it, it just the sun was born and it went just a bit above the horizon and then it goes down again, but never goes away, and it keeps
Wow,
like doing like a curve. It's totally
wow, that's
crazy,
insane.
insane, totally.
Yeah, I can't live in a weather like that. Like
No.
my limit was stirring, and it was already really like not as cold. But
Yeah, no, I think I can live on that pain.
I really respect all the Brazilians that are living, in Sweden, working for Volvo, and
Yeah,
or like anywhere else, like all the way up north. You gotta you have some extra strength in your blood.
no, for sure. But it must be hard for those who are from there, but those like us, which live like here in near the Ecuador, and when you
Yeah.
go there, and it's kind of strange. I remember when I was in Canada, and I was just in Vancouver, and I was walking around the
Wow.
city, and I was watching my pictures later, and I photographed like a tower with a clock on it, and I was
Uh-huh.
just wondering, it was like daytime, and I just look on the picture and say, oh, it's 9 o'clock and the PM, it was night in
Uh-huh.
my head, and I was walking like it was like the afternoon,
Wow.
and I just noticed when I saw the picture, because I mean, here in Brazil, you rely on the sky. Okay, it's
Exactly.
late
Yeah.
and it's not late, and when it's not okay, the sun is still there, so it's afternoon, and I
Wow.
just saw it later.
Yeah. I, I think it really messes with your body, right? Like your brain, right? Like in the sense
It's
that
different for
it
sure,
messes with your internal clock, right?
for sure. Yeah, cool. Next one,
Let's go.
I think we have four to go.
Oh, we're almost there. Look at that.
And now we have the literal 3 box.
All right. Yeah, that's a literal 3 blocks. We, yeah, I mean, I think this is very literal, right? I like that, they're exploring um, this type of like connective gear uh, type of finishing, so probably like kind of, have like better insulation for the weather, which is actually something that makes a lot of sense. All the cage and piping and off-road elements are really cool. Uh, and for example, in you don't need like amazing aerodynamics in the Arctic, I believe, right? Like for a vehicle like that. So why not making the panels like insulated? I think it's awesome. Um, and we have all the off-road elements. So there's a winch and hooks and skid plates, right? Like kind of it has all the off-road, like the skid plate here and steel bumper, all the things that they were looking for. And the treads are like kind of like, I think this, like I saw this like a concept shoe or something with like an Air Max type
Yeah,
of
totally.
sneaker, which it's pretty cool. And that this type of stuff we like to see, but I think it's just too heavily AI, right? And which kind of sometimes can get pretty incoherent as well. And uh, yeah, I mean, it's not a sedan either, right? It's 3 boxes and it's like a tiny train.
Oh, there's a
But
video. I forgot about the
oh yeah,
video.
it has a
Let me
video.
just play it. It's a quick one, 5 seconds, but
Yeah, quick
just
animation.
making like the functionality of it. But of
Yeah.
course, it's full AI.
Yeah, putting more thinking into it and more process and sketches, right? Would be nice. And but it's a cool idea, right? I don't know if it's checks the boxes of the briefing, but it's cool.
It's literal, right? If you're looking
Yeah,
for a sedan, like it's not the classical one, at least. It's kind
exactly.
of trying to play out of the box, bring
Yeah,
something
yeah,
actually new, like a new perception, and go into the keyword not related to the automotive field.
exactly.
And it says 100% Viscom, but that does mean that can you do only things only through Viscom? I mean, you have to bring some, not just the prompt, but I think you have to bring some uh, doodle or like some small sketch or some 3D part. Can you
Yeah,
just go through
yeah,
prompts?
yeah. I think as far as I know, you need to bring a sketch into it, or there's actually I was thinking, but I think there's actually I never used that tool, but I think there's a tool that you can just generate stuff to find inspiration from. There's I saw Scott Robertson talking about it, so
Oh
I'm
yeah,
not entirely sure. Not saying that I'm 100% sure that is, but you can also generate stuff without any input of this.
because I'm not sure I'm understanding what's going on here.
Yeah, it's the type of AI generating something.
It's crazy, functional, but doesn't work. It looks
Yeah,
like something that works, but when you take a closer look, it's
yeah, it's very
cut
impressive how you can make something look believable,
without being
right? Like
something.
it all makes sense
Without
sometimes.
making sense. This is cool. But I was wondering, I would really, really love to see. I would open. I wouldn't mind leaving the video out and put in some the how you call this, like the blocks. Maybe this is from Blender. You have like some
Yeah,
3D blocks, and it brings some of these shapes, and then
that's
this
true.
comes finished. But that's what I. Yeah. Okay. You want to go to the next one?
Let's go. Yeah,
Okay. It's almost there.
nice.
It's almost there.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, it's fun. It's really nice to see all those projects and the entries.
Yeah, no, it's cool,
Um,
but it's something that like it kind of consumes you. You seem like a lots of things, think of them, and talking about them. It's something that makes you tired, right?
mhm. And it's always like, we become designers always, as I say, because we love design, and it's just so cool to see design and see people that are passionate about it and trying to get some visibility, or just kind of participating on something that's just was done to be fun, and
Yep.
also be able to give some feedback and help. I hope it's helpful,
No,
but
I'm
it's
sure it is.
rewarding as well. It's exciting,
Yeah.
and this one I like it a lot. The process is like talking about a little bit of sketching, a little bit of Blender,
Yeah.
and
Sorry.
I think this, yeah, sketching, Blender, plasticity, which is another 3D software too, right?
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, this one I liked, actually. I liked a lot in terms of the concept for the briefing, right? Because we have this, like, rugged, very rugged type of part here that could be, like, because this is in the Arctic, so I imagine, like, where you need like a big fuel tank, or you need a giant battery pack, right? So I think that all makes sense. It's the first one that really kind of brought some of the Nike DNA from the Air Max into the tires. That was like kind of like what I was expecting to see, right? Like this, it's like, again, it's all about the contact with the ground in this concept, and in this project,
Mhm.
and because of the brands that we have, the environment that we are, right, and that makes a lot of sense to me, right? The and it looks like the person has took its time to kind of do the rings as well, actually, here inside, right? I don't know how much AI is in this one or not, but it makes a lot of sense. It kind of ticks the box of being a 3D volume, right? We have hood, cabin, storage back in the part, like in the back, and we have all the straps here. So I like to draw extra things that you need to pull, or um, I like this one a lot. But again, I would love to see the process of this. It's like,
Yeah.
it's what it's missing. I want to see some sketches, even if it's like napkin type of thumbnail, right? But I want to see how the person gets to the idea, right? It's like an important part of the process, right?
Totally.
And it's a good render. Like, if it's just Blender, it's pretty good Blender
It is.
Blender
That's
render.
true. That's true. Not easy to create this transparent, like blurred material, you know? This is kind
Yeah,
of
yeah,
really well done. And you have headlights, as you asked from the previous
that's good. That's
proposals.
good.
Okay, good one. Well, this one is pretty basic, if I may say. We can
Yeah,
be quick on it.
I appreciate a person doing their 3D modeling there, right? But uh, what will be important here is and I see that there's an inspiration from the Miata RX-7, right? But I think in a project like this is, really trying to get, because, for example, right now is just a car on top of treads,
Yeah.
right? And people do that kind of like in SEMA, right? Like car customizations, right? They just take the tires out and put a tread, and, like, look how cool this looks, right? Which
Yeah.
is super cool too, right? But a project like this, you really need to assess the briefing, right? The color is like the Nike cleats that we see on the soccer games, which makes sense. But we need more of Nike on it, right? We need to, like, just build our visual library to what, like, for example, this is a sports car wearing uh like tank shoes, right? So, for
Yeah.
example, it's like the same as me, dressing as with a suit and boots, right? Like, and so the, that's the part that's incoherent, right? So try to design an off-road car that's on off-road environment, right? Wearing off-road shoes. And I like the part that the person said, okay, I want to use threads because it makes sense. but it just needs to be more original, right?
Yeah.
And it's gonna, my advice is to really look at like something that's on the snow or a very off-road type of vehicle, and try to model that, right? Like, or just sketch that for a few times. So then you learn how to do it, and then after that, then you start to create your own version, your own design, right? Like and then go through this type of feedback loop a bunch of times, and that's how you learn and get good, right? That's it.
Perfect. Keep practicing. That's it.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Okay. And thank you very much for participating.
And it is a 3 volume, right?
And it's a trivial. Yeah. Pretty big trunk, right?
Yeah,
Big
yeah.
trunk. And the final one, Arctic Drift.
Nice.
I have almost what would you call this? Like a mix of Ferrari or whatever. I'm not sure.
Yeah, yeah. So it's just too much of a sports car on the snow, right? That's pretty much what it is. What you're showing to us, right? And so why? And right, like you need to, if you need to have a really good story, right? Just to explain, right? Like, it's a cool design, it's a sports car, everybody loves sports cars, right? But why it looks like that, right? Like, for example, when we have like, for example, here we have all these intakes and outtakes. So, like, explain, right? Like, if you're on a console, explain how the airflow is working, like maybe it goes here and comes out there, it's cooling something or it's creating uh downforce, right? But then again, why would you make it a sports car for the Arctic, right? So
Yeah.
and again, it seems very heavily based on the AI, right?
Looks
So
like.
and I see some sketches here. I appreciate to see a little bit of the process. I also see that behind the sketches there's something or that uses a base, maybe, I don't know. But
Oh, that's true.
yeah, there's like some writings, right?
Yeah, just saw
But
it.
that, yeah. So make sure, like, you need to present your slides nicely. For example, maybe you do one slide that's just sketches, and then, and because, for example, here you kind of cutting parts of the sketch. There's a portion here where you cutting the the image, right? Like the car, right? So all of that counts, right? As a designer, you need to have like, develop your eye for making a beautiful presentation, display your process nicely, right? And really, like, for example, if you are starting, right? If you're a beginner, right? Um, Start by not designing something completely out of the box, like, kind of doing this type of thing, right? With the, kind of something that goes in front of the tire and the tire pops out. Don't start designing crazy stuff. Just start from the basics, the foundations, develop your skills, and then once you, like, understand, like, basically what I was telling the previous project. Um, Select a car, like, something like, or a military vehicle for the ice, uh, or just grab a sedan and raise from the ground. But really sketch that, understand the volume, then start to design your own version. And then after that, once you master this, then you can start to design crazy stuff,
Mm.
right? That, that's gonna stuff that breaks the boundaries, right? Because you cannot start by breaking the rules, right? First, you need to learn the rules, and because a good master understands how which rule he can break, which ones I'm going to respect, and which ones I'm going to break to create something new, right? Not just like, oh, I'm going to be Picasso and just breaking all the rules since the beginning, right? Picasso was an extremely good artist on, like, traditional styles before he developed that crazy stuff that he dropped, right? So
Yes.
that's the advice in there. Start from the foundations.
No, nicely done. Nicely said, actually. And I'd say this. It's like we have like basic sketches,
Yep.
trying to shape something, trying to bring a form up, but then it looks like Viscom took the control and ended up by bringing some final surface decisions somehow, you know. So,
Yep.
and that's it's more. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. That's how I see it, but it's more of this. Develop this. Even I'm just saying again what you just said, actually, but
Yeah.
focus on this, and this is just the final part. You know, maybe you won't
Exactly.
even need it. You know, you don't have the, I mean, at least the greatest designers that I know, they don't really rely on AI to design for them. You know, they are the designers, and they can use it to finish to make it quicker.
Yep.
Maybe like when you on a job and whatever, you have like even just a small time to do things. And but the thing is, we must be good at the first phase, the sketch phase. And even
Exactly.
if you take a look to the boards itself, it's unacceptable to cut your own design. You're presenting like this, you know. It feels like even the board is done by AI, maybe because maybe it kind of hallucinated and just cropped the design. That doesn't make sense, you know. The car is the focus, and here it's kind of cut, cropped in the page.
Yep.
It must take care, of course. Well,
Yep.
not sure if you
Yep.
want to add anything, Rafa, but if not,
Mhm.
we can go to the next phase.
Yeah, I think my conclusion here is to for everybody to like especially like on the AI portion, right? Like uh, you need to develop your skills and make sure like you're in control of the tool, right? Otherwise, if if AI is just making the decisions, right, then you are the tool and AI is the designer, right? And it's not supposed to be like that, right? uh you being just the tool that makes that become a reality, right? And they are the designer. You need to be able to think, decide, and imagine things, design things, sketch 3D model, right? And then you can use AI to tell the story and make like these incredible visuals, right? That will help you tell the story and make the project become convince people that that's the right idea, and making the product become a reality, right? Become a product, not the other way around.
Yeah, perfect. And to
That's it.
finish, well, do you want to point out your favorite now?
Oh yeah, I think
If you have
I have
one,
a
if you don't want to do it right now, but it would be nice if you want more than one, the three best that you think, maybe.
yeah, yeah. Well, I really love this one here, right? Like it's APX,
Hmm.
right? Nike APX, because I think it tick all the boxes. It shows the process, right? Like in right, like it's important portion of it, right? Like to show how you got to that idea. It
Hmm.
has a nice. It's using AI in a nice way of like to tell a story, right? It's using the showing the snowboarding guy and like how you carry all your tents, your camping gear, right? That's awesome, right? I think my second favorite, maybe let's see, like not in order, right? But like I
Sure.
like one more or the other. But my favorite would be that one. And I like this one a lot, where like it also shows a little bit of the process. The Nike SNOWBLAZE,
Hmm.
right? So it shows. I like way more the process part rather than the final design. I think that the final design misses a bunch of those elements that we talked about, right? But I like this one as well quite a lot. That I think this is the one that looks the most like like if Nike was designing, especially like the side view, right? Like not a big fan of the front, right? Because it sounds like the front is kind of hidden, right? It could be
Yeah.
more expressive, right? It's kind of, but it's also kind of like looking down. But the exploration of materials and it just looks like a something designed by the Nike. There's a thinking behind the the CMF, the colors, materials, and finishing, right? Yeah, and then I really see something on the Crevasse as well,
Mm-hmm.
right? I think has is checking a bunch of the boxes, and could be a little bit more like, off-road elements, like a winch and rally lights, off-road lights. But I think there's a lot of potential. I just, I look at it and I would love to see the sketch and the development of it.
Yeah.
It's like very simple, easy to understand. There's the rugged part and then the design part on top. Nice. Would love to see how you're getting as well.
Cool. Good points.
Awesome. Yeah, and it's being really fun. It's like I appreciate everybody that's taking time to design something, practice their skills, develop that. I mean, it's beautiful to see that, right? Like when someone just wants to create, right? Like that's what I love design, and I just love to see people designing, right? And also like having the courage to put your work out there, right? If you don't do it, you can still learn, but like just putting your work out there is just gonna help you so much, and have feedback, and you break out from any inhibitions you have to share your work. That's brave. Congratulations to everybody to have the the courage to do it, and I really appreciate it. And I see you all. Good job, everybody. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, pretty cool jobs. It's really nice to see all the different approaches, you know. You mean how people try to understand the team and how they put things together. It's always nice to see that. And I think that's it, man. I think that's the review, and I find that you bring lots of points that are really, really valid and will surely help everyone. I'd like to thank you again for joining, for taking the time to do all this. It took like almost 2 hours, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
You had like a great story. Thank you for sharing your story, and thank you for all the feedback. I'm sure that people will have lots of use for them.
No problem. It was a huge pleasure. Very grateful, right? Like to be here, and it was fun. I'd love to see all the designs.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this. I've been doing
Yeah.
this for quite some time now, and it's always nice to bring some guests. And I think it was awesome with you. With really, really cool talking to you,
Thank
and
you.
it's
And
really
I'm
nice.
just I disagree with you. I think you're a great host, right? You said that in the beginning, but or you're getting better, or you're a really good host.
Well, cool. Thanks for that. Thanks for that.
Yeah,
Maybe I got it right finally. Maybe.
yeah,
Let's see it. But thanks again, everyone, for participating, guys. Leave the comments if you want to talk about the any points here. What's your opinion on the projects that Rafael just presented in review for us? And see everyone in the next challenge.
yeah. Just catch it.
This sketch it. Thank you, guys,
Bye.
and bye bye.